Guys, welcome to another Thinking Women Extra, and today we are talking about the elusive, the thing I haven't seen for years, the thing that I crave more than anything in the world, the morning routine. And this lady here is an absolute mistress of that routine.
Halo of the morning routine is shining.
Performs it regularly. So Lou, tell us, how does one achieve this?
The pinnacle
The
of
pinnacle
amazingness
the
that I
routine.
am. Well, I want to tell you now, my morning routine is quite extreme.
What we
So
talking?
I'm talking 3 hours.
3 hours.
So I get
3
up,
hours?
actually 3.5 hours. So I get up just after 6 and I leave the house at 20 to 10.
Okay.
So that's...
Okay, talk us through these 3 hours.
Okay. So...
What do they involve?
Well, obviously I get up, have my hot water and lemon to, realkalize my body. And then I do half an hour. We've got this thing called the Be Well Club that I join. Mm-hmm. Which is a lot of people on Zoom, and it's a bit of gratitude, bit of meditation, bit of moving around, just that kind of bit of journaling, bit of reading. So it's just a really nice thing that actually if anybody just did that, that's half an hour.
Already I'm thinking if I could get up and have a hot water and a lemon and a bit of moving around and journaling, I'd be sorted for the day.
Yeah, no, this is it. This is what I'm saying. We're coming in quite extreme with Louise's 3 hour one. Okay. And I can only do this because I don't have children at home anymore. So we're going to go on to...
Yes.
So I think we're starting up here, and then we're going to go into what normal people can do because I know I'm not normal. I am abnormal. I am extreme.
No.
So I do that, and then I do transcendental meditation for 20 minutes. And then I do Wim Hof breathing for 20 minutes. Then I do 40 minutes of exercise. Then it takes me an hour to get ready.
Okay.
And that's
Okay, so if you had to lose one of those things out of that routine, which would you lose?
I probably, what would I lose? I could lose a bit of the exercise because I also do a bit of yoga at the end of the day. So, and I also walk quite a lot. So I could lose the exercise because in the Be Well Club, there's a bit of exercise there because it's not like you have to do tons of everything. This is the point. We're going to get tiny bits, just like 5 minutes of journaling.
Yeah.
So that's me.
And if there's one thing you could save, this is a bit like Desert Island Discs here. These are your 10 records. If there was one thing you could take on your desert island,
thing. So
what would it be?
The meditation, the TM.
Meditation.
Because I do transcendental meditation, which is something I've done since I was a kid, and it's a very deep, very productive meditation because it affects your body on so many different levels. So if I just did one thing, that thing is going to absolutely realign my whole mental state.
And just is that why is that different to a normal meditation, or is that a normal meditation?
Because it's deeper essentially in layman's terms. So the transcendental bit is you're transcending normal consciousness. And that's much deeper, and that's where healing can begin, and clarity and energy and all those things. Where if you do mindful breathing, which is nothing, mindful meditation, nothing wrong with that, but it's kind of like the icing on the cake. Whereas with TM, you get the layers.
And can you share some TM stuff with our lovely
Not
viewers?
Really. You have to go and learn. I can share links.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I've thought I can't teach people.
No, but just whether there's any links. So this is the mistress of the morning routine.
So that's me.
Okay.
So I have no children.
I
do have children, but they've grown up.
I have had a morning routine, and actually not very different to you. I used to do a 3 hour morning routine. I used to get up at 5 a.m. I used to leave the house sort of 8-9 o'clock. But for me, it was a lot of studying, a lot of reading, and that is what I really like to do in the morning. So
reading's brilliant in the morning.
And you learn so much. I like to exercise in the evenings, or actually late afternoons is my favourite. But the mornings for me is study time, and I had that privilege before I had the children.
But you know that your brain is far more alert. There's a period of scientifically proven that your brain, because I started getting up at 6 to write, because I've been writing this book and some training, and I found that if I literally got out of bed and I started writing whatever I needed to get out of my head, I could do it in that window.
I don't even
and
get
that's
out of
because
bed.
your brain
laptop in the bed writing.
I need to move.
If anyone's read any of my pensiony blogs and so, most of them were written at 6 in the morning in my bed.
Mine are at the kitchen. But it's proven that your brain is at its most alert and productive and creative. So that's
makes
naturally
sense.
why you would do it.
But let's talk about. So we've both got an ideal, and it's lovely to set that morning up, because I read somewhere that actually, if you wake up and you get your thoughts together, makes sense, you're much more able to deal with things that are thrown at you during the day. And
well, it
that's
is
the
true. It's that thing,
argument
isn't it? It's like
for
if
the
you
morning
get up
routine.
and you're chaotic, which is a lot of us, and this is the thing everybody can work on. So what I was going to say is start small. And the reason, say for example, I do the Be Well Club, and I can put a link to that if anybody wants to do it, is because you can go on that with other people, and there's other people there. You're
accountable.
And you're going to turn up. So that's one reason. But a lot of people, and including myself in the past, you set your alarm and then you set the snooze and then you set another snooze, and then you're so chaotic as you go into the day.
And part of
then the
this
day is chaotic.
comes back to the night before. So I know that if I don't, so I've got my morning routine, not as long as Lou, very simple. If I get my girls up, get them ready for school, if I get a coffee,
You're winning at life.
I'm winning at life.
But then that's brilliant.
It's great.
But that's brilliant.
Yeah, and I know, I mean, I'm being quite cynical here, because I do know that I do have a morning routine, and I was lucky enough to go on a couple of holidays this year without my children, and I was journaling. So I spent a lovely week in Israel, and I was in the garden at 7 a.m. picking fresh mangoes off the tree, and I pray. I'm quite spiritual. Praying and giving thanks. I would then walk down to a local coffee shop. I'd do my journaling. So I absolutely understand I love it.
That mind space that you're in, and that's
It's
it.
great.
Meditation, prayer, gratitude, it's the same thing.
It is.
Essentially at the end of the day. So what you're doing is you're just setting yourself up with this huge sort of inner mental strength. But the thing is, you don't have to do it for 3 hours.
No, and
you can do it for
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
And this is what I really want to share. I've come back from those 2 holidays this year, and I realised that I can't do my 3 hours. I can't do it. But I can set my alarm a little bit earlier, and I can make myself a coffee, and I can look out of the window and watch some birds fly around and be grateful for that. And then even
walk around on the grass with your coffee, because that grounding is a form of, it is hugely beneficial for people's mental health, with your barefoot just walking. I mean, that's multitasking in a way.
Is. And when you've got children, you've got to almost multitask your morning routine. And then I do try and bring a little bit of it into the process with the girls. So getting them ready for school, I've changed my approach with them. I'll be honest, I got a bit shouty. I was a little bit, get your shoes on, get your bag.
Who wasn't?
Yeah, and I thought, actually, let's just change that, and let's be thankful for what we've got, and introduce them into some sort of morning routine.
Do you know what I was going to say?
So,
and that's brilliant, because that's what I did with my boys when they were little. So you asked me about TM. So TM is the thing that we've always done, and children can do it. They can learn how to do it as well. So when I got my kids to learn, then as a family, we did it together. Slightly different to how I do it now, as just on my own. But that's amazing, and we're all taking part in them. Yeah. Kids can do gratitude. You can say to Bella and Abby, "So, girls, what you're looking forward to today? What are you grateful for?" And they can do. You can do gratitude together.
They can't journal, but we can talk about their plans for the day. And I've also changed the way that I wake them up as well. So I will go
jump on their beds and come on.
Go in with the bell. No, there's a much more of a gentle feel to the start of the day, and it's just easing people in, and that's giving them a really good experience and them a morning routine.
Well, that's going to be give them
clarity. Being woken up by some shouty grown up going, get out, uniform on.
Versus let's sit down and do a little bit of prayer and a little bit of gratitude. That's going to set them up for their school day. And it's just these small things make such a massive difference. And what I would say, if anybody out there is interested in getting and thinking, I can't do this, you can. We've just proven little bit by little bit. But one book, I don't know if have you read The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod?
But you've spoken many times about
it. It's kind of life-changing to a lot of people. And changed my life. I definitely recommend, if you're starting out thinking, quite like the sound of this, we've made it sound interesting or terrifying, I promise you, it does feel good.
And
read his book.
for me, the thing that if there's one thing that I can say, that makes my morning, I wouldn't say it's a miracle morning, but it's improving.
It's quite a bold statement, miracle
It
morning.
is quite a bold statement. But
acceptable morning.
An acceptable morning. It's slowing down. It's just slowing everything down. And obviously we've got to be on school.
Mindfully approaching the day rather than chaotically approaching the day.
Yeah, and so my little girl, I'll say, oh, put your cardigan on, and she'll be standing there, and to someone else, she might be taking ages, but she's actually looking at her cardigan. She's very creative, and she's looking at how it's made. She's don't laugh.
No, I'm not laughing.
I'm
impressed.
Looking at her clothes and looking at them and thinking and learning.
Yeah.
And that is a beautiful thing.
And that's actually quite sad in modern life. We're so busy rushing that, a child sitting appreciating something for its beauty should be, and you are, fully applauded, as opposed to like, just get it on and get out the door.
And my other top tip for parents, and it really has helped me, is I get up and I get my coffee. So set your alarm before your kids, have a bit of time before then.
Yeah.
And then the next thing that goes on is Classic FM.
Oh, nice bit of classical music.
FM.
Yeah.
And they have a thing called the school run in the morning. So big plug for Classic FM here. Brilliant. And it's very calming. It sets the mood. It talks about other children that are going to school and what they've got happening as well. It's a really good
calm, a nice bit of
initiative.
classical music. Yeah, absolutely. We used to have heavy metal in our car. I'm not sure
but
what
you've done the meditation beforehand.
I'm not sure how that affected them. It affected me, actually. That's why I need to do 3 hours now. I'm kind of like...
But I mean, any ideas? I'm really fascinated.
Yeah, we'd love to know
hear.
if people have a morning routine. Let us know what yours is. 3 minutes or 3 hours, whatever it is. And if you need help on getting started, let us know, because we can.
Well, let Lou know.
I'll help you.
I'm not the expert,
and I won't make you do 3 hours, I promise you. But on a last little note, all I would say is, if you can just get up 10 minutes earlier and just do something quiet and calming, something for yourself, you will have a miracle day. I swear. I honestly swear.
Yeah, some good advice.
See you next time.